Hi guys, I went to lay down and the same thing is going on here as the other places. So you don't believe this is a weapon, so I'm going to continue to put out evidence because it is a weapon, and I'm sure it's a trafficker's dream weapon. If I was in law enforcement, I'd be all over a weapon like this because you don't need a gun, you don't need to be in the same room. So I'm going to show you some of the damage. Look at the swelling just on my face. You can see the red. It was burning really bad the past few days. It damages your skin. They have repeatedly tried to damage my skin even when I was a child. And the first thing my cousin said was, wow, you don't have any acne scars. Yeah, I managed to survive my childhood without too many acne scars because I didn't go to a dermatologist like my cousins and so on and so forth. My filling fell out today. I had just about all my teeth drilled by an alcoholic dentist. He was the only one that took Medicaid. Okay, very damaging. The current dentist, it went to Kriegel. He put this piece here. I should have braces and it's pushing back the other tooth. The new dentist, Angelina, that took over his business, the same abuse. So I'm going to show you some of the damage. They focus this device. You can see the damage is really bad now. Because the stereotypical way you're supposed to look as the welfare whore, the ugly one, because if you're ugly, you couldn't be possibly telling the truth, but the damage in 2 years has been quite pronounced. So they focus this here. It's almost like a laser beam or it's heat. So my whole jaw was swollen. It was swollen down around this tooth. Oh, excuse me. And the whole tooth. The whole entire, mostly they're all fillings now. I never ate candy. I never ate candy. I never ate any of that stuff. Oftentimes without Novocaine, I would cry. Throughout my childhood, it was horrible. But anyway, they're all fillings. And this one, they've been putting this device right there. So even when you lay down, it feels like, you know, you have like a pipe in your head. It hurts so bad. It makes you dizzy, disoriented, and today the filling just fell right out. It just starts to, you know, when you apply heat towards something like this for a long period of time, there's a deterioration, and you can see my skin now. This is just in 2 years. So this is a very humiliating video. It burns the top of my head. My hair color usually burns right out, but I'm gonna show you some of the other damage with my shape. So this is my stomach now. It really does a lot. It almost moves the fat right around on your system. These are my arms. You can see the damage here. You can see underneath. Look at the stomach, and it's very painful. Cellulite all over, everywhere. I don't know if you can see this. I didn't have this kind of cellulite 2 years ago. So this is probably won't be going to the pool anytime soon. You know, I had worked out. The whole thing was with men. This man that I was with, every day they would weigh themselves at work. So weight is very important to men. We know that. You know, girls will go online and talk about not being able to get a date, and the guys will pile up saying, well, you should go to the gym. You know, somebody's carrying a few extra about, not let's go hiking. I'm sorry, I'm really out of breath. It's been burning nonstop, and it's so uncomfortable and so bad. I can go outside, I can sit on the bus, the movie theater, I can go all sorts of other places, and this doesn't go on. But this is a weapon, and this is the damage it does. It's pretty bad. You get disoriented. You get loose bowels. 2 years ago, I had none of this. I was still running. I had, when my cousin came up to the gym to start causing trouble, I had just ran 4 miles. I was in the best shape of my life. It doesn't even look like I work out now at all, or ever did. So this is the damage because of the stereotypes that if you look a certain way, you couldn't possibly be telling the truth. The male gaze, if you will. Everything is seen through the male gaze. Your welfare whore, crack whore, you know, drunk slut, they would often say, because I went off to college, they destroyed my graduation party. And it was nonstop down to New Paltz. It was New Palsy when I came up here. My relationship was set up. I was lured home by my entire half family who refused to speak to me, and then fixed up with this nice man, nice guy. I was still a young lady. who had already been in trouble, who had already had a history with these people unbeknownst to me. And the whole thing, "You're crazy," started out very quickly. So there has been a whole bunch of other abuses, but talking about this device, it's the one thing that I can't totally prove because, like I said, you don't have to be in the same apartment. It seems to be coming in different, like it can come from up above or side to side. It's a dream weapon because as a woman, you could run your own trap house, which was I was told at the jail. There were women that wanted to run their own trap house, right? You don't have to do that front, the front line work, if you will, because you don't need, you don't have to be right into the apartment. It's a matter of babysitting because after a while, you're not going out at all. You're basically, and then you're so exhausted. I'm so sick. I'm totally out of shape now. I'm out of breath constantly. I can barely walk down the block without needing to sit or take a breath. It's just a babysitting job. You're just laying there in the bed being burned. They'll burn it on your face, your genitals, your breasts will swell right up. Some of the swelling goes down, but then it's the constant pain. Your stomach's distended, your food isn't going through your bowel system properly. You either lose your bowels or you're having other issues there with fluids, if you know what I mean, if you're a lady. So this is extremely debilitating. And like I said, if I was involved in law enforcement, certainly with what's going on in trafficking, I would be all over a weapon like this because I'd want to know about it. So, and certainly I had an ex-boyfriend who was into alternative weaponry because his father was a detective. So I can't imagine these men aren't into this because it's an extremely dangerous weapon. And I'm sure they're using it on a woman like myself because you can keep a woman incapacitated. I haven't been out at all for 2 years. I used to walk, run, ride my bike, go to the gym, and I haven't been able to do any of that in 2 years since they started this with this heat gun. It feels like a heat gun, like your face is burning or being cooked from the inside out because you can look at yourself. Sometimes I'll wake up and my face is like really red and blotchy and it's awful. But it feels like it's underneath the skin. And so of course you're constantly with the anxiety and then they'll wake you up, you don't sleep. Because you're trying to move away from this heat device. So I thought I'd give you a little idea of the symptoms. I'm still very sick. I'll probably lay in bed all weekend because it's so debilitating. But this is what these men continue to do, and they're being allowed to do this to just absolutely destroy my health. I don't have health insurance. I don't have dental. And so this has been swollen. You can see it's still swollen really bad. And that's why it's been hurting. And then you're not getting the proper rest and you're not being able to live your life and so on and so forth. Be safe because this is what's going on in our community and it's hellish. Be safe. And this is all after you report domestic violence.